and welcome to the biggest surprise in my GTA Online week, and that's this, the Weeny Issi Sport. So this is on offer this week, and it's quite a decent offer. I think this thing's going to set you back about 600 grand, which, let's be fair, that's a pretty decent price for any car in GTA Online these days. But why is this such a surprise? Well, to answer that, I need to have a bit of a rant about minis. And if you're wondering why I'm ranting about minis, then I guess, hi, you must be new here. So this is a mini, whereas this is a very nice BMW that looks a little bit like a mini, or shall we call it a Binnie. Now, I'm not saying I don't like the Binnie, it's a very nice car. We nearly bought one once, one that looks just like this one as it happens, but the only reason I didn't is because at some point on the extended test drive I was actually overtaken by a stationary object. And that didn't quite sit with how I like to drive, so that got, well, ironically binned, and we bought something else instead. But anyway, back to this car. This is based on the 2020 Cooper GP Sport concept. So obviously it was only ever going to be black and red. Now, I've never bought this before. English, motherfucker, do you speak it? It is actually a deleted vehicle, which is why I never bought it before. And the other reason I didn't buy it when it was available, as I didn't really like it all that much, because let's be honest, I've got a bit of a stick up my arse about minis. And whilst I think they've done a good job of the proper one in this game, I just wish there were more of those and more options for those rather than more of the modern ones. But that's just me picking faults for the sake of it, which, let's be fair, I kind of like doing. So anyway, why was this a surprise? It was a surprise because this thing is really, really good. The time this did through the city section of this course is one of the best times I've ever done through the city. Now, I'm out on the freeway now, and I can already see it's pulling that time back in, so I don't think the lap time is going to be brilliant. But around the city, this thing is brilliant. It's got loads of power, it's got fabulous handling. That's helped by the fact that this thing is actually all-wheel drive. So it's really nimble, it doesn't really understeer or oversteer, it's got really nice turning, it's got really nice controllable handling. If you want to do some flippy, twisty, stunty stuff, this is a really good car to use for that. So all in all, it's actually okay. I still don't like how it looks, really. I haven't really been able to make it look quite enough like the real one. I don't know what they were thinking when they did this to the front end, but you know, each to their own. So let's have a look at what this thing does for a top speed. I'm not expecting much here because I can already feel it's really, really slow. And this is the time that this one managed to do. Customization wise, do you know what? You can do okay with this. There's more than a lot of cars. It's not quite up there with some of the tuners in terms of the stuff you can do, but for a fairly standard car, for a £600,000 car in GTA Online, you can actually do quite a lot with this. I quite enjoyed customizing this, even though I had a very fixed idea of how I was going to do it. And if anyone's wondering when you look at the customization video why I went for the crew colour, that's because there's another, I say I never talk about glitches, but I did a glitch in my last video and there's one in this one too, because I've used a glitch to change my crew colour to be a slightly darker shade of black than the shade of black you can actually get in the game. If anyone's interested in seeing how that works, just drop a note in the comments and I'll pop that in the next video for you. So as we come round to finish, what do we think? Is this worth buying? It's kind of a difficult one because I really like this thing, I'm really enjoying it. I guess the answer comes down to what other sort of cars that you have. If you've got garages full of supercars and plenty of money, then I would definitely buy this, because for looning about through town, this is probably one of the best lunatic cars I've got in the game, in terms of just being a prat through town. It's really, really good fun. It works really, really well. The handling is just awesome. It's absolutely perfectly balanced. The thing that lets it down is that as soon as you get out onto the freeway, it's got no top speed whatsoever, so basically anything can beat you, even the stationary object that overtook me on my test drive. So as I come over here, final thoughts. I think this is worth a punt, just based on fun. You're not going to win anything in this. It's not particularly good in the game. It's not particularly good looking, although this black version, even though it doesn't look great for the videos, it does look very nice in the game. I think this is probably worth a punt. And in GTA currency, this only works out at just over half a Kayo, which isn't too bad. So here's the final time it managed to do. And here's where it sits on the lapboard. Now I've had to make some changes to the lapboard as well, because I noticed in the last video that it's going by so fast these days that you can barely read it. So I've had to slow it down, and I've also looked into how I can highlight the actual car I'm reviewing in any given week, so you can see exactly where it sits on the lapboard. So what I'm going to have to do is probably look at a way I can slow it down a little bit more, but obviously you don't just want to sit here watching a lapboard for the whole video, so I'll try and figure out how I can squeeze it in a little bit earlier. Anyway, I hope that was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.